all my academic life I've been drawing on the critical theory tradition and looking at the kind of material conditions under which we live, how we interpret those conditions through ideology, but also I think, which is an important dimension of this, is desire itself. Why, classic critical theory question, why we desire our own repression. And throughout that period I've been cross-dressing privately and have desired to wear women's clothes since really the age of 4. And I thought it would be useful to start to process these ideas through my own relationship to women's clothes. And that really only came about when I started presenting this way in 2015. And part of that then is to reflect on my own desires. Why am I seemingly hardwired to these things? But more importantly, why did I feel a need to repress that desire for something which is really quite trivial? Is there something shameful about wanting to dress this way? Is there something that I ought to be repressing? And I kind of felt, no, the problem exists in society itself, the way that we're gendered. So I wanted to really ask the question is, why in this day and age is it still so unusual for a man to adorn their body in any item we can think of or define as woman's? And what is it that men have to lose in feminising their body? And they often do feminise their body, but seemingly for a joke on stage and so forth. But they tend not to do it in what we might call an authentic way, as a kind of reflection of their own desires. We live in a patriarchal society where men do have something to lose, because men typically hold more power, status and so forth than women, or at least by presenting themselves in women's clothes, they challenge that status, they undermine that status. There's a lot of talk these days about sort of trans issues, and there's a lot of media profile of trans women, but it is often couched in these terms that it's gender dysphoria, or there's a kind of one-way transition. And I want to just say that, yeah, I present this way because I like wearing women's clothes. It's as simple as that. And the reason for stating that is because I want to remove any kind of moral imposition on this. I don't want to have to justify myself in terms of some traumatic experience in childhood, or that I'm gender dysphoric. I think it's more of a case of interrogating the social relations that we're socialised into. And I think that then draws us back into that question of what I've said about why in this day and age is it still so unusual for a man to dress this way. And of course, wherever I go, whether it's in London, Auckland, people are looking. And I think that does get to the core of a problem, that patriarchy not only exists in a kind of abstract way, but it concretely affects our lives, and that is woven into the whole fabric of late capitalism. The book explores all these various dimensions, explores the influence that media has on us, of popular culture and so forth. It looks at the kind of psychosocial dynamics that give rise to certain dispositions and so forth. It takes categories of gender, sexuality and so on, and questions those categories, while at the same time affirming, as many feminists do, that these categories are embedded both materially and in our psyches.